Because we are a startup, we recognize that in the very early days, it's critically important to have something like the role of parent. And so there is a class of shares called the STEWARD shares, which currently have a very high voting weight. As the company evolves, as the size of the investor pool, the user pool, and the labor pool grows, the voting weight of the stewards will decrease, and I can imagine eventually that voting weight drops to 0. Now, if you're running a different kind of company, for example, there is a car company close to where I live and work. They have, in addition, the ability to give non-tradable shares to representatives of the community, so that the community that the factory is in has voting power. They give shares to the supply chain representatives, so that the supply chain, their interests are aligned with the success of the company as a whole, and they give voting shares that carry no financial value to representatives of Greenpeace, the World Wildlife Fund, whichever companies or organizations they choose to represent the needs of the planet as a stakeholder group. And by doing this, it creates a platform for dialogue, which is what evolutesix is about, a platform for dialogue for success by aligning the needs and the interests of all of the different stakeholders. And as I said earlier, for investors who are in it for the money, we believe that that is the single best way to replicate Warren Buffett's success and get far more money, far more reliably than is possible for investors in the current system, where there are such big swings between one that hits a wildly successful investment and the bulk whose investments fail. If you're a venture capitalist watching this, you know as well as I do how few of the investments of the venture capitalists actually succeed, how many VC firms are running close to break even. We're convinced that this way of structuring companies will be far healthier for the VC community because their return on investment is far more reliable and predictable.